Jolly parked in her driveway and hit the button to open her garage door. She pulled inside as usual, only to find her husband's truck missing from the garage. Perhaps he took the kids out for dinner. She thought she smiled at the idea of Jack taking care of the kids for a change, since she often felt as though she was taking care of 3 children, not just 2. She got out of her car and went into the house. It was already dark outside, and the interior of the house she shared with her husband and 2 children seemed eerily quiet without the lights and the noise of video games blaring from their large-screen television. She recalled what she had done earlier that evening with her lover, Alex, and felt just a bit guilty, but only for a moment. Looking around the dark, quiet house, she wondered if this would be her fate, if Jack decided to finally end their marriage. After thinking a bit, she laughed and headed upstairs. No sheet hot. If Jack was going to take action, he would have done it by now. She had been seeing Alex for 8 months now, and Jack had bought all her excuses. No questions asked. At first she only visited him 1 or 2 days a week, but lately she had been at this house for up to 4 evenings a week, including Fridays, while making up excuses for Jack. Jack never questioned her, even though she was very sure he knew what she was doing. He never even questioned her when she lied and told him she had a weekend conference in New York a month or so ago. The truth was, she'd spent that weekend with Alex. In New York, of course. Alex was the one who had a conference to attend. She was his plus one for the weekend, and now they were planning to spend a whole week on a cruise together. All they had to do was come up with a reason that Jack would believe. Once upstairs, she undressed and slipped into the shower. She wanted to be as fresh as possible for her husband. When he came back with the kids, she wanted to be clean for Jack, just in case he wanted to make out. Of course, he hadn't made any advances toward her lately, so she didn't expect he would tonight. Still, she thought, one never knows. She slid under the covers and fell asleep quickly. The next morning, she awoke expecting to see her husband next to her, but he wasn't there, and his side of the bed didn't look like it had been disturbed. She listened but didn't hear anything else in the house. Maybe they're outside, she thought. She got up, threw on a robe, and looked around the house, but there was nothing to indicate they were there. She looked outside, thinking maybe they were doing yard work, but there was nothing. She ran around the house calling out for them, but there was no answer. Frantic, she looked in the garage, but Jack's truck was still gone. After running back upstairs, she checked the closet. Jack's clothes and personal hygiene items had vanished. She ran into the kids' bedrooms and saw their things were missing as well. Had he finally left? She pulled out her phone and tried calling Jack, but got a message saying the number she called was no longer in service. Oh God, no, she cried. She called his parents in Southern California, hoping they might know what happened. Mom, it's me, Jolly, she said when Jack's mother answered the phone. Have you heard from Jack or the kids lately? No, I haven't. Jolly, Lorraine, Jack's mother said, is everything all right? No, Jolly said, I got home late last night and they were gone. I figured he took them out to dinner, but they didn't come back home. He tried calling Jack, but I got a message saying his number is no longer in service. I don't know what to tell you. Lorraine said maybe you should call the police and report the missing. I'll do that, thanks, she said. When she ended the call, she went into the kitchen to get a cup of coffee. That's when she saw it, an envelope sitting next to the coffee pot. Jack's ring was sitting on top of the envelope. Scared, she opened the envelope and pulled out a sheet of paper, a type note from Jack. She sat down with a cup of coffee and read the note. Jolly, the note began, in case you haven't figured it out yet, I'm gone. The kids are with me and they're fine. It's quite apparent, Tom, that you forgot. Friday was our 15th wedding anniversary. It goes without saying that you chose to spend it with Alex Freeman rather than me, but I'm not a bit shocked. It's not the first time you've missed an important family date. Last month you apparently forgot that it was Jason's 13th birthday. I told him you were busy with work and couldn't get away. Of course, I know that you were really in Freeman's bed. You did the same thing with Allison's birthday 3 months ago, and you remember when Jason got hurt playing football at school 2 months ago. That's right, you couldn't be bothered to look after him because you were off with Freeman. The school told me they tried to reach you, but were told you were in a meeting. Imagine my surprise when the pit told me that you and Freeman were actually doing the horizontal mambo at the Hilton that afternoon. Yes, I've known about your ongoing affair with Freeman for a while now, and the kids know. As well, I also know about that alleged conference You went to New York and I know about the cruise you and Freeman plan to take later this year. Don't worry. You won't need to lie to me about it anymore since you've decided that Freeman is more important than your family. I decided to take matters into my own hands. I had hoped you would have ended it with him and come back to being my wife and the mother of our children. Again, perhaps we could have worked things out. But you chose not to. You've basically been gone for the last several months, so now it's my turn. I'm gone for good. And since you don't seem to care about the children, they're gone as well, and will be staying with me. You will be served with divorce papers sometime early next week at your place of work. I'm also suing Alex for alienation of affection. Since that is allowed in the state, I may not get very much, if anything at all. But it's the principle that matters, you see. I am teaching the children that bad choices have consequences, given that you chose your lover over the children and left them in my care 3 to 4 nights a week, while you spent time with Freeman asking for custody of the children, and you may be required to pay support since you make good money. I am asking that no spousal support be awarded. I won't keep you from seeing the kids, although you'll have to get a passport and pay for your own travel, you see. We're moving to Australia. I accepted a promotion and we be running our company's operations there for at least the next 5 years. I had hoped to share this bit of good news with you, but as always you chose to spend your evenings with Freeman, and I never got to celebrate my promotion with you. You will also find in my top D draw a signed quitclaim deed. I am leaving you with the house, and I have left you with half of our accounts. I have taken my name off everything. It's all yours now. Enjoy. By the way, if you decide to fight the divorce, you may find yourself the next internet sensation with a quitclaim deed. You will find a packet that contains some rather explicit pictures of you and Freeman together. Those are just a few of the snippets I have from the many hours of video that were taken of the two of you. I'd like to say the last years have been wonderful. Unfortunately, I can't. Granted, the first 13 or so were pretty good, and I gave you all the love I could muster. But apparently it wasn't enough for you. The last year or so you've been drifting away and rebuffed all my efforts to bring you back, offering only flimsy excuses for your ongoing absences. You may have noticed that I have not initiated a makeout with you for quite a while. The truth is, the thought of getting sloppy seconds from you filled me with disgust, with tears in her eyes. Jolly folded the letter and put it back in the envelope. She pulled out the card for Jack's attorney and set it on Thedable, vowing to call on Monday.